Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another live stream. I think we should be live today. We did try and do this yesterday. This is take two. After we went live yesterday, I think 2 minutes into it, I lost my connection here and couldn't get back online. So it's great that the guys are able to join me again today. What we're going to go through is zk zero knowledge technology, how the industry seems to be really turning towards that as one of the big scaling I suppose strategies for different blockchains. We'll talk about what each of these guys are building on Cardano and their approach, their thoughts on it overall. Any questions, do let us know down below. We'll try and do this one as an introduction to it, introduction to what they're building, introduction to the tech. Some people might have seen previous videos that I've done with Phil from Anastasia Labs. We touched on different aspects of it. So this will be a lead on, and then maybe we'll do other videos then looking at individual aspects of it, depending on the feedback, questions, what people would like to know. So my guests that are here today, thanks very much once again for joining me for a second day. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, then we'll get into what zero knowledge is, and then look at what you're building. So I don't know who wants to kick off with an introduction first.
I can start if you want. Thanks for having us a lot. Thanks for having us for 2 days. My name is Caro. I'm a software developer / cryptographer / amateur mathematician, I guess, in eryx, which is a worker-owned company, which we are really, really proud of. We are a group of very nerd people with backgrounds in mathematics. We have some mathematics PhD, which are like our spiritual guides, and and other people, some other people like me that are from computer science. But we like to tackle interesting things, challenges. We have been working more with. We are starting to get into the Cardano ecosystem. We've been working more with the Ethereum Foundation. We are trying to get to work. We are like in negotiations with to work with Midnight, and we presented some projects to this round of Catalyst, and we're mostly interested in bringing interesting solutions to problems. Also in the educational part of it all, most of us are like university teachers and the like. And I teach an assignment that is a course in Haskell. So when I heard that Cardano uses Haskell, I was like, okay, I want to be friends with those guys. And we're hoping to know the community more. And that's kind of it.
Nice. Great. Thanks for the intro on that. And remind me to come back later on in this on how you're finding Cardano and Ethereum, you going from account-based to UTXO based in terms of zk, and I've heard it can be easier on UTXO, but I'll come back to that question after. I'll let you continue with the intros.
Good. I am Agustin. I'm part of modulo-p, which is a development team that has like a year and a half ago since it started. And it's very focused on zero knowledge, in the engineer part of zero knowledge, and bringing that technology to Cardano. So we did some pioneer things, making one of the first zero knowledge validators in the space. We did a game that demonstrates the use of zero knowledge in Hydra. And now we are doing a voting app that uses zero knowledge to vote anonymously in the blockchain. So we are very focused on zk stuff. And recently I was like, bring us together to do a collaboration with eryx and with Dencoin's team to push this technology, the zk technology, forward in the Cardano ecosystem.
Great. Thanks for that.
Hey, Paul. Well, thank you very much for having us here. It's a pleasure. I appreciate all you do for the ecosystem, and your channel and your content is great. It's fantastic for Cardano. I am Agus. I am part of the Cardano community for like more or less 4 or 5 years ago. I am very passionate about Cardano and its community and its ecosystem. I am not a developer. Agus and Caro are the developers and the great minds here. But I am very passionate about privacy solutions and zk for scaling Cardano and for bringing precisely privacy solutions for the Cardano ecosystem. For a long time, I have been involved on the privacy solutions, not only on Cardano, but on Monero, Zcash, and other privacy protocols. I have a very good friend. I am a very good friend since I am Gid with a core tech developer on Electric Coin Company, which is the company that develops Zcash, and they introduced they were the guys that like joined together the zk ecosystem with the blockchain. So, in my opinion, it's not possible to be worldwide adopted if you don't have some privacy solutions. And what zk offers is not only the possibility to scale Cardano and to scale blockchain, but also to offer users privacy solutions. So I am very passionate about that. I have been helping Vladimir Siniakov, the founder of Encoins, for the last years. For the last year, together with Diego Mac, which is a community member also very well known on the Cardano ecosystem. And for the last couple of months, we have been also working together with eryx and with modulo-p. So great to be here.
Great. Thanks very much. Yeah, I had Vlad on, it could be nearly a year ago now, talking about EN coins and what you're building, not what you were, what you are building there. And I think even since that, there's been a lot of developments there and even hit mainnet since back when we talked. I don't think it had hit mainnet yet. I'll have to look back on that. But for people watching that mightn't understand what, and for myself, I only have a very high level understanding of it. Zero knowledge, what is it? Who can give the overview of it? I know it's referenced, as you referenced there, for privacy, referenced for scaling, and privacy is very important. Cardano is a public blockchain. You don't always want every transaction public. It's not that you're doing things that are illegal or anything like that, but you don't always want everybody to know exactly what's in your wallet. There's different use cases why you would want that. But the scaling side is also one that really has got a lot of attention. I've seen some massive sums of money being raised by projects in looking into this on other chains. So who wants to volunteer to give me the high level overview of what it is?
Maybe I can do a first approach.
Yep.
zk is like relative new cryptography that is like, it's very important because it's causing like a blockchain revolution, because it has the benefit of, one, you can, an analogy is like you can, a computational process, you can compress it with a zero knowledge proof, and the proof that you have to verify on chain is much smaller than the actual process. So that's one benefit that zero knowledge has, and that proof can contain some private inputs. So it has a benefit in scalability because the proof that represent this computation that you want to verify on chain is much smaller, and it can have some privacy on it. And the third point that is very relevant that is that zero knowledge is highly programmable. You can represent mostly a lot of algorithms in zero knowledge. So that gives you a lot of flexibility to work with. So it's like a holy grail of cryptography right now. So that's
The thing that I was just saying about the programmability, let's say, of the cryptography is very important, because right now I feel like, and I think we shared this view with the Agoses, is that we are at a point where it's still not. We have maybe some cryptographic algorithms to do CK proofs and to upload them to the chain, but it's not that easy yet for people in the general that business to use them. So it's I think right now we are at the point where the one of the biggest challenges that we have is to make those things usable for the I don't want to say the general public, because it's not so general, but let's say the general developer public, and that's an interesting challenge that we have right now as a community, I think.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean by the general public. They won't really understand what's happening behind the scenes, but it's making the dApps that are built on top of this, or the user interfaces that are built on top of this, better for the general public that are going to use it. And with zero knowledge, so some people might have heard of it with all the talk recently about Bitcoin using Cardano as a DeFi layer, and how they're able to verify proofs on Bitcoin now for the first time, that they can do it within a block. Is it used for layer 2s, or would zk be used on the layer 1 for Cardano, or where would it be used?
It has different use cases. For example, we are using it in layer 1, or intend to use it in layer 1. It's viable to have send private anonymous information to the blockchain, which is one of our proposals that we are sending right now, which is privacy protocol that is called Semaphore. Semaphore allows you to anonymously prove that you are a member of a group. If you are a member of a group, you can send a message, an arbitrary message, and in this case, we aim it to be a vote. So that's one example of use case. There is another, for example, it's use case that has relation to scalability, because for example, you can have a layer 2 and start to send transactions within the layer 2 and verify that process with a zero knowledge proof on chain. So the layer 1, it has some security that you did the computation correctly in the layer 2. That's the two use case that comes to my mind right now.
Yes. Maybe like a general way to put it. What I like to think about when thinking about those use cases is that if you think about the blockchain as a giant database that everybody has, there are some things that you don't want everyone to have inside of it, and you want to keep private for some reason, maybe like belonging to a certain group or things that it can be for compression, or it can be for privacy too, like I was saying, and anything that you might want to keep private in some way in a database that is publicly distributed can be a use case for CK technology. So that I think that may cover too some things that are not invented yet, but like you can put in that box of that general like.
Yeah, I suppose.
And Paul, regarding the Bitcoin stuff and the idea that Charles has of Cardano becoming the DeFi layer for Bitcoin and having a demo for May next year for a Bitcoin conference that he said here in Argentina on the Cardano Constitutional Convention. with Agus from modulo-p. He has an idea, and we are supporting him from Encoins, of including growth 16 on Cardano. He will probably be able to speak and to explain better than me what is growth 16. But basically, there are different flavors of zero knowledge proofs, and one of them is growth 16. Another one, for example, is Halo 2, which was introduced recently by the IOG team. We have one of the proposals on Catalyst that CF voted, so it will be probably approved, to set up a ceremony to include growth 16 on Cardano. Growth 16 is the same zero knowledge proofs that was introduced on Bitcoin. So this will be very important for the integration of Cardano with Bitcoin. We are already in contact with Nicolas Biri. He is the director of innovation at Input Output Global. He led the team that introduced Halo 2 on Cardano, and we are trying to join efforts with them too in order to make the ceremony of growth 16 on Cardano.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, it's great to hear that there's different options there. I know Bitcoin OS was all the talk initially, and then when they announced there's going to be a token, it kind of it really died down. And Charles really he seems set now on creating a version that doesn't need a token, that can use Bitcoin, could use ADA as the fee paying mechanism, which I think is good. If we want to encourage people to come in from Bitcoin, they don't necessarily need to know that they're using Cardano or what they're actually using. As long as they know that it's secure and they can pay for fees and everything in Bitcoin, then they're going to be happy. And I think that's the way that it needs to be. So it's good to hear that there's different teams, knowledgeable teams working on this in the background. Just coming back to Karov, you worked on the Ethereum side, which is account-based for anyone not familiar with it, which is very different than Cardano with UTXO or EUTXO. Bitcoin is UTXO. That's why there's a lot of talk of being able to use Cardano as a layer for Bitcoin. But how have you seen the difference in trying to build zk solutions for an account-based blockchain versus a UTXO one?
In reality, I think that the UTXO world is a technology that kind of scares people in the sense that maybe not the people that were into Bitcoin like from the start, but for people that start with the account or with Ethereum, I think it might be like an additional difficulty to understand. I think that it's important for like the Cardano community and for the Bitcoin community to be able to abstract that and to in one side to be able to explain that clearly so people don't get overwhelmed by it. But in reality, I think that once you get over that like additional difficulty, it's comfortable to work with. I like the model of UTXOs. I don't say because it's like because I've been a Cardano stream, but as I really like it, and I like that it's distributed and that that it's more parallelizable. I don't know if that's a word, but that you can parallelize it more, let's say. And I think it's useful in that sense. I don't find it like particularly difficult, and I kind of like it.
Yeah,
the spirit behind it.
I know from talking to lots of different developers over the years, Cardano isn't that easy. It's got a lot better to develop on, but I know talking to people 2 years ago or that when we got smart contracts, or was it 3 years ago now, actually, at this stage, when we got them first, and it was a lot more difficult to build than people thought it was going to be because they were breaking new ground, trying to do, I suppose, things with UTXOs that hadn't been done before. So there was a lot of difficulty there. Developer tooling and everything has got a lot better over the last few years, and it's great to see the way that it has progressed. And I think the next 12 months, we're going to see even more big improvements in it when you see the amount of different teams now that are working to build solutions. And what I like about you guys is that you're collaborating together. You're not all trying to build the same solution and build it separately. You're collaborating together, which is what's needed. It's oftentimes you see within crypto and blockchain is that teams work in silos trying to be the best themselves and trying to get out there with their product, rather than if they actually collaborated on certain aspects, then you can build a far better product in the end for even others to come in and build on top of. So is there anything else that you are kind of working on at the minute that you'd like to cover or think would help people understand this a bit better?
Maybe you can start with
Yes.
proof of innocence.
Yes. We can start about the proposals that we have, or the projects that we have in Catalyst, so people can know more about them. We have in total, I think, 4 projects. I can tell you about 3 of them. We have a project that is called Proof of Innocence in Cardano. That is, it's like a big title to say that we want to have a protocol that allows you to have a list of forbidden or shady transactions that can be provided from, say, a government or an organization or something like that, and you can prove not belonging, that a transaction doesn't belong to that given set. So let's say I want to send money to somebody. I want to prove that it doesn't come from money laundering, for example, that it doesn't come from a shady origin. So you would be able to do that. I don't know if you want to add something about it.
Yes, the first use case of this protocol was Tornado Cash. So it's a mixer, and with proof of innocence, you can prove maintaining the privacy or the anonymity of the user, that you are not part of that set of banned transactions. So, which is very interesting because you don't disclose the user identity, but at the same time, you prove that the user, it doesn't relate it to some malicious activity, to some malicious activity or some malicious transactions, which is very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think that's important. And that's a benefit as well, is that even when you come back to IDs and things like that, that you don't always have to give people all your information. You can give them the proof that they understand. And I suppose with zero knowledge, I don't know if we covered it, is that you can verifiably prove to someone that something is true without giving them the actual transactions or the data behind it. And due to the maths, it's above my head, but it's able to figure out that yes, this is valid and the data behind it is true without you actually giving them the data behind it. So things like that, I think, are brilliant to have, and any solutions around that are really going to help going into the future. What other ones then were you looking at?
Yes, definitely a little bit about that also. As you mentioned, Paul, we, eryx, modulo-p, together with Vladimir, what we are trying to do is trying to do cool stuff with zk on Cardano that benefits the ecosystem, working together with all those protocols that want to contribute and cooperate with us. We had meetings with TXPipe. We had meetings with Midnight, with JJ Sealer from IOG, with everyone who is interested in knowing what we are doing and what we are trying to build. It will be open source, all our proposals. And regarding proof of innocence, it hasn't been voted by the CF, but it's on second position on the Live Tally on late donation. So the proposal is on concept. It has a lot of interest on the community because it's second, and it will be open source. So this means in the future, any other protocol that decides to include a zero-knowledge proof of innocence to allow their users to do anything, will be benefit from this proposal because it's open source.
Yeah, well, we are aim it to be like a public library that people that people can import in their projects to do their own proofs of innocence, let's say, with like a common API.
Okay.
On that, another project that we are presenting is that related to the thing I was saying before about making the usage of zk techniques to code in dApps more approachable, is to we call it implement zk in Aiken, but it's more like we have some primitives that are embedded already in the language, and we want to create like an ecosystem of objects that you can like speak to, let's say with an API that make you able to abstract yourself from all the maths behind the proven system that is being used and all kind of stuff, and to build apps focusing on business logic and without the need to really understand that much what's behind that. So it's for the popularization of the zk proof usage, let's say. I can go with the third one, or if you have something to.
No, you can go ahead. Yeah, I think that one, anything Aiken, people not familiar with, it is, I suppose, the go-to smart contract language on Cardano. Now, at this point, we've had different variations. People outside still think you need to write in Haskell to come in and build on Cardano. You don't. There's a lot of other options out there, and Aiken now is the go-to language, I would say, from 99% of developers I talk to. But sorry, you were going to go on to a third?
Yeah, we were also talking about that with the TX by people. So we try to understand what's the status and what are the plans from them, like from the developing Icon side, to be able to provide something that is useful for the community, let's say. Then the third project that we have is zk bootcamp. Really, we have like at eryx in particular, we have been giving some bootcamps in different places in Buenos Aires. We're based in Buenos Aires, and we want to do the same thing for the community in Cardano, and to prepare material to educate people about the zk maths, let's say, in the Cardano community. And the other project maybe is if I was want to speak about it, then yeah.
Yes. Just to wrap up the previous question, as you can see, zero knowledge it has a lot of use cases. You can tornado cards, that is a mixer, use zero knowledge. There's identity solutions that use zero knowledge, voting, and scaling solutions. And right now, like we are in this group, we are like trying to push like this technology forward and trying to, because Cardano right now is very green, and personally, we in modulo-p we try to bring like some progress in other ecosystems, and that brings us to Semaphore, which is the voting that I mentioned previously, that essentially allows you to vote. And while we were developing Semaphore, we encountered like a gap because we use a flavor of zero knowledge that it's called GROT16, and GROT16 is there's many type of zk schemes, but GROT16 is very efficient, more than the others, which is helpful because in blockchain we always are constrained by budget use, but it has the trade-off of needing some random value which needs to be generated in a multi-party process. In other type of schemes, which are not so efficient, you don't need that multi-party computation process, but in Drug16 you need it. So we look for this is called a trusted setup ceremony, and we look into if someone has done in the past a ceremony, a trusted setup with the elliptic curve that Cardano used, and we didn't have any good findings. So in this catalyst round, we decided to send a proposal to organize this multi-party computation process to build this random value that allows you to use Drug16 safely. If that part is not robust, you can create valid proof, but malicious proof. So it's a very important part, and Drug16, since it's one of the most efficient secret snarks, it's like crucial to have it in Cardano. We use it in Semaphore to make the transactions more cheaply, and other projects, for example, Bitcoin-OS, they also are going to use Drug16. So, so with that proposal, essentially, we want to help all the projects that are using Drug16 to just use it in a safely manner. So that's one of the proposals that we sent.
Okay, Danny's asking, there any proposals that he should vote for? I think there's a few there that you could definitely consider.
Pretty
Yes.
please.
You guys
As
can
we're
simply look for eryx, Ncoins, and modulo-p on the Catalyst voting app, and you will be able to vote. CF has voted for the setup ceremony for Drug16 and the zk on Icon. So those proposals will probably make it. But if you want to support the other proposals, and it will be great if you can vote. And I want to say that we achieved everything on Ncoins and with zkFold, with Vladimir as the main developer that understands zero-knowledge proofs. So I think we will achieve amazing things with Vladimir, with Agus, and with the entire eryx team that has like more than 12 zk developers. So I think we should support eryx, modulo-p, and Ncoins to keep building zero-knowledge solutions on Cardano.
Great. And just on you said there about CF have voted for some of the proposals. I would encourage anyone watching this to still go out and vote for them proposals, because it's a huge boost to get the CF 180 million vote. But there's still a chance that some mightn't get in because they've nearly maxed out every category. So if there is a proposal that you do like here, make sure you still go and give them your vote. I think it runs till 11 or 12 UTC tomorrow morning. So you have whatever, roughly 20 hours or less actually to vote at the time that we're live here. But anything else that will be good? As I said at the beginning, we can do more videos looking deeper into certain aspects, but just on a high level, anything that you want to leave anyone watching with today? Or actually, is there anywhere people interested in this? Is there anywhere they should be following? Where is the best places to follow to keep up to date with kind of releases or information or anything like that you're working on?
Okay. As of eryx, we have our catalyst username. I think it's eryx _ raccoon because it's our animal. It's hard to explain. And We have a web page with a blog that is blog.eryx, .co, not com, co. So you should check that out. We can like share the links afterwards, is okay. And we have a Twitter, sorry, X, that is a crypto raccoons _. So about you.
About us, you can maybe follow modulo-p X. If you have any doubts, any question, send them a direct message, and we will happy to help. For sure, follow House, because House is doing the divulgation of our projects, of the collaboration. So if you want to know more, House is the guy.
Yes, feel free to follow us on X. My personal X is Agustin Enada, and the Ncoins one is Ncoins and the number 1. So feel free to reach us, to send us a DM if you are interested, if you are a developer, if you want to contribute, if you have some questions, inquiries, feel free to contact us.
Yeah, we try to be approachable and to answer questions, and we're people too, so yeah.
If you just send the links to me after this, I'll just put them all straight into the description, so it'll be easier for people watching back. They're obviously not there as we're live, but anyone watching the recorded version, then the links will be down there below. And maybe at some point, maybe even some kind of a Discord or some server would be good for, as more and more, I think there's going to be more and more developers looking to get involved into this as you're open sourcing what you're building. That encourages more people to get involved. So it'd be great to have a resource like that for people to get into, and then we can point people there that are looking to get started. But guys, thanks very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I learned more today. We're going to do more at some point, looking deeper into different aspects. Very best of luck with the Catalyst Fund and getting voted in. Everyone watching, there still is time to vote for these projects if you're interested in bringing ZK to, or more ZK to Cardano. And as we've covered here, it is going to be very important for scaling and privacy for the future of Cardano. Thanks, guys. And
thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that you allows us to speak here. So thank you too much, and I enjoyed a lot of the conversation.
Yeah, me too. Whenever you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thanks, guys, for sharing your knowledge. And watching, please do share it out. Actually, give it a like, ask questions in the comment section below. All of that helps push the video out so more people can understand what these guys are building. Thanks, and I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya.
Ciao.
Adios.